think the button worked. I think we're live. Hello. What's up, guys? Long time no see. How you been? What you been up to? You should be able to hear me. You should be able to see me. I was gonna zoom in. I tried like 3 times to zoom in the fish cam like a little bit, just so we have like a little bit less gravel and a little bit less top. Hang on, let's see. Zoom. Yeah. Oh no, I can see it. Let's try like 106. Oh no, you won't let me type in that field, huh? 106. That is exactly, I wanted a 6% zoom and now I want to pan it to the left. This is very important and deeply fascinating and exactly what you showed up to hear about, I'm sure. No, to the right then, yes. Good. This is my fish. How are you guys? Let me check chat. Hi, Hazel. Hello, everybody. So nice of you to come see me. It is a little early. I figured I would press the button a little early. One, because I want to have more time to chat, especially because I feel bad that I don't have the vlog out yet. And secondly, because I was just really excited to try the button. Okay, so I have another button I need to try. For reference, on last week's live stream, I did a mail time, and one of you guys sent me a stream deck. So I have buttons now, and this one should tweet my stream. It showed me a green check mark, so I'm assuming that's right. I don't have a way of knowing. I don't have Twitter on my desktop. So, and then this one brings me back. I haven't like set up a ton of stuff for it, but I have the basics, and I'm very excited about it. So it should be. I don't want to jinx it, but I should tweet every stream now because I can do it with a button. Oh, how are you guys doing? How's your day been? Turn up the mic? No, I shouldn't turn it up. I should speak up, I think is what's going on. I'm being a little bit quiet. I am a bit sick, as happens, predictably, as happens every single time I fly anywhere. I do get sick every single time, so I'm like heading it off before it really sets in. I feel confident that I'm not going to be just like dead. I think I'm gonna sort of sidestep this one, but I'm still taking it a little bit easy. And I'm a little spacey too, so if I lose my train of thought a few times today, bear with me. We're doing our best. I got some tea, I got some water. I don't think I need anything else. Hopped up on Dayquil. Quiet breaking of silence? Yes, that's why I did it. Hi, Hazel from Canada. Hello. Anyone else with BNet issues? Not personally, but I heard one of my friends was having problems last night with it. I saw that you got the first book, Wheel of Time. I'm on book 3 and I'm absolutely obsessed. So I started it. I read like half of the prologue in like one. I sat down and read a few pages, and then I was gonna take it with me, and I forgot, and I realized I had forgotten when I was like in the car on the way to the airport, and it was too late. I was like, oh no. And I really could have used it too. I had a bunch of time to kill on Monday afternoon, and I had not brought my laptop, so I couldn't play WoW, and I had not brought the book. So I had stuff, but like I didn't. Just napped. Okay, tweet got sent. Dope. Sick. Cool. What else do the kids say? Lit. Get better soon. Thank you. I'm gonna try. I'm trying to take it easy, or at least as easy as I can with all the news that's coming out right now. There's a lot of videos, and I think most of them. I think now that I've gotten those 2 talking about mount equipment and Titan essences, I think I'm gonna sort of not pause 8.2 videos, but I need to do the raid guides this weekend, and then by next week the PTR should be up, so I kind of want to delay a few until PTR so we can get like actual footage. Ibumi Knights, thank you very much for the generous super chat. Hi Hazel, how you been? It's been a while since I've been to a stream. Me and my mom finally have all but dwarf and orc allied races unlocked. I made mage, but I've started playing monk and I love it. Also plan on making a shaman troll. It sounds like you are set. I was reading a little bit of the chat before I started the stream, and there was some there was a shaman pusher chatting it up. Okay, happy you took the trip, met T&E again. Hello, Hazel. Hope you get better or dodge it okay. I have like a ritual where like the second that I feel like, you feel it in your throat, like your like the back of your tongue starts swelling up, and then you like start sneezing. As soon as I feel that, I go ham on water. Staying warm, although I don't know if that helps. This might all be placebo effect, but this is what I do. I go ham on water, staying warm, like hot, clear teas. So like your herbal teas and your chamomile teas and honey lemon ginseng tea. and then sleeping enough, which was hard when I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to do, but trying to get at least 8 hours, maybe even 9 if you like NyQuil it up. And I find if I do all that like early, sometimes I can just like get the first 2 days and then be good. So I'm really crossing my fingers because I do not want to get sick right now. I got the great C-Ray last night, so happy. Congrats, Cillian. That's awesome. Hi, Hazel. Did you get any information on how we'll be able to get the B mount in 8.2? I am dying to know. No, actually. I saw a bunch of cool new mounts. I did not see that one. That doesn't mean it's not there. I did on the test build open up like the mount journal and the pet journal and like start paging through looking for new stuff. Cause you know, what would you do? And I didn't see, actually I couldn't find any new pets aside from, no, I don't think I found any new pets, but, and I didn't see the bee yet, but I'm hoping it should be there. What are you doing today? Mount farming and leveling? I don't know. It's time walking, so I should do at least a couple of time walkings. I'm going to check to see which characters need badges. And then I want to do some timed test runs of like potential mount run locations. So like comparing how quick it is for me to farm up to Jikun and Throne of Thunder versus how quick it is for me to farm early bosses of Legion Karazhan, that kind of thing. Sort of figure out what our next mount run's going to be. But I want to just sit here and chat for a little bit first, honestly. Like, I missed Tuesday, so I need to catch up. Unlocked my Colteran, ended up making a mage. I love it. She's level 40 now. You're going to pass me soon. Thank you for the additional super chat. I use the D&D rule I made for myself that I only make a character if I can build a backstory for them, or I make a bunch of characters I never play. I feel that. I think the backstory rule is a really good one. Badges. We don't need no badges. I need them for the, oh, I forgot I have a fish head on. I need them for the, Warlord's mount. My cat is watching your fish. Yeah, I thought I would put his camera back up because I kept not wanting to do it because he was, like, looking a little poorly because he is still very lumpy and swollen. But honestly, he's been fine. Like, he's still lumpy. He's not getting better, but he's not getting worse, and he's been acting normally, so we can hang out with him. He can just be a tumor boy. That's fine. Just unlocked Colteran humans. Congrats! Got an invincible on my 62nd try. Dang, that's pretty lucky. I met some people, actually, that would be quite jealous of you on my trip. Let's see. Dual specs concerned with essences not auto-swapping. So, I think that... So, the thing with the spec-specific essences... I misspoke a little bit in my video. I put up a note on the screen, but there are different essences. So there's one that is for tanks and one for healers and one for DPS, essentially. So if you're switching back and forth between them, you'll ideally just collect all the ones that you want, and then when you swap, go into your interface and switch them out, which does feel clunky. I would not be surprised, and they did not announce or show this, but I would not be surprised if they come up with some kind of, like, saved to your spec, essences the same way they have with transmog, or at least like sets, kind of like we do with gear sets, where you can just like press one button to switch in a saved set of them. I wouldn't be surprised at that. You can read it anytime. It's not going anywhere. If you like the first, I'll send you the second one next. Hazel, my 3-month-old is having a nap, so I can finally catch a stream. Missed your stream so much. I hope you enjoy your own rest time. Hopefully we can chill. Love your background. Thank you. There's plushies back there. I like rearranged them. I felt like the top ones were really crowded and I couldn't see them, and I kind of wanted to give the top shelf, I'm ducking a bit. You can see me. I kind of wanted to give the top shelf a feel like the pet shop in game that has the plushies on the shelf. So I've put those ones on top with some space so you can see them, and the other ones are kind of like in the background down lower. Also, Blizzard is having a gear store sale, and nobody's paid me to say this. They're having a gear store sale, and some of the plushies are half off. So I think they have $10 Alex and Raptors. I didn't see the Murloc one. That might have been like a BlizzCon thing. But Alex and Raptors are cheaper. Also, that blue Alliance skirt that I was wearing is like $7 right now in the gear store. So you have been warned. It might be the first gear store I looked through everything and actually didn't buy anything. Like, there's a bunch of stuff on sale, and I'm like, I have a lot of WoW clothes. Taking probiotics always makes me feel better when I'm sick. Chinese or... Oh, I'm behind in chat. Chinese or Mexican food? Usually Chinese for me, if I can find something that I like in the menu. What supports you more? Supporting you on Patreon or subscribing on YouTube, or does it not matter? It doesn't... It's close enough that it doesn't really matter to me. I would rather you pick the one that has the benefits that you like. But I think Patreon is technically a little bit more. He can be a tumor boy. That's fine. I mean, I would prefer if he didn't have a tumor, but I would prefer it to be a tumor than like an organ failure, if that makes any sense, because it seems like his quality of life is fine right now, and he's certainly living for a while with it. He's had it for like 2 months now, so I am glad that I got more time with him than I thought I was going to have, because when he first started swelling up, I figured he was going to be gone in like a week, and I was very sad about it, so I'm glad I get more time with my buddy. Let's see. Instapot. Is it like powder? That's what I use. Hang on, I missed something. Oh, an Instapot recipe. Instapots are like pressure cookers. It's like a pressure cooker, but it like cooks things really quickly. I don't have one. I'm suspicious of them because everybody that owns one talks about it like they're selling it. Like everybody turns into Billy Mays when they start talking about their Instapot, and it spooks me. It's frightening. I want to catch up on chat, and I feel so behind, and I want to talk to everybody. Just got paid, want to make up for the chats I've missed. It's very sweet of you. Mr. Let Me Watch a Video. Classic name. Thanks for the super chat. How was hanging with Tally and Eva? Is there anything you can tell us that no one has mentioned yet? Night Elf Heritage Armor, Gnome Armor release. So I don't know what I can tell you that no one's mentioned yet because I haven't gone through like everybody else's coverage. I don't know what they have and haven't told you. There's definitely a lot of stuff that we know that wasn't in the announcement stream, but nothing like major, you know, just like little details about stuff or stuff that they're talking about or thinking about but haven't confirmed yet, so it's not exactly news. So Night Elf Heritage Armor was not a thing. That was not mentioned. Nobody said anything about that. Gnome Armor is going to be in the patch. So Gnome Heritage Armor and the Unlock Quest line, along with Tauren Heritage Armor and the Unlock Quest line, will be in patch 8.2. So if you have a gnome, you'll be able to, like a max level gnome, you'll be able to do that quest line. The quest line will have something to do with Thermoplug Mechgineer's son. And that's all I can say, because that's all I know. And yeah, be able to get that. If it's a tumor that stopped growing, he can live its full life. That's the dream. That's the hope. Like, he doesn't, like, you can barely even see it, like, from this angle anyways. Obviously, he's just hanging like a spooky ghost as he does, but... when did you go on the trip? Did I miss a video? No, I'm really bad at telling people when I've done things. I couldn't talk about it early, so, or at least I didn't know what extent I could talk about it, and then when I could, I was like, well, does anybody care? So, I went on Monday, and the event was on Tuesday, and then I came back on Wednesday. So I did go, and I haven't made like a full summary video. So that was going to be today's vlog, and the thing with today's vlog, and the reason that it's not out yet, is because I like wrote down my whole document, because usually when I'm about to make a vlog, I make some notes that have like the topics I want to hit, and this one was so long, and then I got into this whole section where I was talking about some of the concerns that people have brought up with mount equipment, which I thought was an interesting topic, so I like wrote down like a blog post worth of thoughts about that, and I'm sitting here staring at this like 6-page document being like, oh my god, I don't know where to start. You know, you get that where you're just like working on a project and it just feels so big that you can't, like, you're just overwhelmed so you can't start it. So I haven't recorded it yet because I don't... Usually with most things I can like break them down into doable pieces, and I guess I can like record it in different chunks and like take breaks and turn off the camera in between. But usually I just like turn it on and go for a while. Let's see. Pressure cookie? Terrified of pressure vessels? Pressure vessels. Pressure vessels are scary. Yeah, you see like 1 or 2 YouTube videos of them exploding, and you just decide to cook something on the stove. Although stoves can cause fires too, so nobody is safe. It's not my Brutosaur, unfortunately. I would... you would know if I had a Brutosaur. Our buddies deserve the lifespan that we have. I think they deserve the lifespan that is the best one we can give them with what they're genetically capable of. Like, I would love to live for like 80 years with a fish, but these ones are like in the wild. It's still only looking at like 3 to 5 years. I've heard about is living like 8 years, but these ones are also, and this is a little bit sad, like the bettas that you see in the pet trade tend to be inbred because they've been bred for these really brilliant colors and like crazy long fins and stuff like that. So they tend to have more issues and higher risk of mutations such as tumors and shorter lifespans because they've been so inbred. It's the same thing with dogs sometimes. So I think my next betta, like, he's a lovely boy and I love him, but I think my next one is going to be closer to a wild type betta just to like reduce that risk a little bit. I'm not quite sure. Brendan, thank you for the super chat. Did you mention anything earlier in the stream about allied races? Too lazy to look back. Any hints or information? Can confirm, no allied races. There will be no allied races in 8.2. Nothing in 8.2. No hints. No like winking. No nudging. If it happened, I missed it. They're very committed to doing things when they feel it makes sense. To the detriment of all other reasons to do things. In fact, it's a mentality that I didn't really understand until I had talked with them. It came up. So this is a bit of a separate topic, but the first thing can be answered by saying no new allied races. But we were talking in one of the roundtables about whether or not there would be quests within a raid again, because you can remember in past raid tiers we've had examples of quests that let you do a boss a certain amount of times to skip that wing, or quests that let you, or like world quests in a raid like we had in Legion and other things like this. And they were asking why they hadn't done it again. And the answer, like I think they do plan to do it again, so like in future tiers, so that's a thing. But the reason why they didn't do it this tier was just because it didn't, not because it didn't make sense, but because in those past tiers, it had. Like, they had a concept or a theme or an idea in their head, and they thought that adding quests in the raid would serve that theme, so they did. And then, if that just wasn't part of the concept and the theme of the next raid, they just don't do it. It's not like they have a list of things, and they only cross them off the list if they're bad. It's more like they have a blank slate that is created by what they want to do with the content, and then they add things onto it as they feel it would make sense. So that kind of answered, I mean, I didn't specifically ask, and I probably should have, but that kind of answered my curiosity about why we don't have things like a vendor for like Expulsum or Tidal Cores or Sanguine Cells or whatever. It didn't make sense to me previously how they could have like a quality of life feature like that seemed like it was just a good, stable idea, and then not do it next time. And it's because that doesn't seem to be really the way that they build what's going to be in a new patch. They build up from the bottom rather than just like copy pasting and then like adjusting, if that makes any sense. Or at least that's the vibe that I got. I could be completely wrong. I could be misreading it. Opinion of the Gnome Heritage Armor. I think it looks very cool. I've never personally been like a gnome themed transmogger on my gnome, if that makes any sense. I go more in like the nightmare shadowy purple and red realm with things as opposed to like tinkering and cogwheels. So I'm not going to wear a lot of it, but I do need to make at least 1 or 2 sets that incorporate the goggles, because those goggles are bomb. Anything more about the future of Warfronts aside from the new difficulty mode? Just the new difficulty mode, but they do seem really excited about it. I don't think they're planning. I would be very surprised if there were new Warfronts in this patch. Or even maybe next patch. That's too hard. That's too early to talk about, but no new Warfronts. I'm in the cult. I make chicken for dog food, and it's made the 2-part process so much cleaner and faster, so I'm okay with a pressure bomb in the kitchen. I'm sure it's perfectly safe. There are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things that are part of our daily lives that could explode and kill us at any moment. They don't, because they're not supposed to. And generally it's fine. With all these Blizzard trips, are you now officially a Blizzard insider? No, I think you have to work there to be an insider. Why did you pause before saying 8.2? Because talking is hard. Nothing was covered about 8.2.5. Absolutely nothing. Okay, let me see. I feel that all the time with projects, overwhelmed. Usually, I'm pretty good about breaking it down into parts so that I can find something small enough to work on. And even if I can't do that, I can I'll set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes and be like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and stare at this for 5 minutes. And if I don't do anything on it, that's fine, but I have to be sitting here staring at it for 5 minutes. Like, that's the bare minimum, and that usually gets me started, but I can't do that with like a recording thing. I guess I could. I don't know. My betta fish here is the one with the tumor. It's a guess. I haven't had it biopsied because I feel like that would be not a thing that people do to fish. I'm not entirely sure, but he's got like a swollen abdomen that he's had for a couple of months now that is confirmed to not be bloating. I've thoroughly treated him for bloating, and it's definitely not that. So that's the current diagnosis. Let's see. I watched your video about speeding the loading screens up, got myself an SSD, and WoW is a better place. Number 1 minute loading screens. Awesome. I'm trying not to skim too much. but I also want to catch up. Also, should probably play WoW at some point. I had the worst WoW itchiness while I was gone because I was like this close to finishing my 2 sides to every story achievement, and I was like super into the Horde War campaign, and then I had to go. Like I needed just a little bit more reps so I could finish the war campaign, and then I had to leave, and I didn't bring a laptop with me, so I couldn't play WoW for like 3 days. And then I get back and I'm sick, and I like had to make some videos about it, so I still couldn't play WoW. So now I actually get to, and I still want to catch up with you guys first. I'm so torn. Stream has led me to resub to WoW and play a Nightborn Arcana Mage. I see you are a mage of good tastes. That's what my mage is like. Most interesting piece of news? Something, I don't know if this counts, but something that surprised me yesterday on the announcement stream is they said there was going to be a pet dungeon in Stratholme, and I missed that during my trip. Either I didn't catch it or they didn't tell us, but yeah, pet dungeon in Stratholme, so that'll be something. And then, interesting. Mount equipment, or how much work has gone into Mechagon, like the whole Mechagon outdoor experience. And I want to talk about this more when I find like the right format to do it in, but they're trying a lot of new things with Mechagon, and I'm curious to see how it plays out once it's actually in the game. Did I see new armor models from the dungeon or raid? I thought I did. I thought I looked at a set. I'm gonna be useless. I'm not gonna be able to tell you anything about it. We looked in, was it new? It must have been. I opened up the appearance journal. On the test realm, I had to make a Horde character because we needed to group together to do the dungeon content later, and like most of the other people there were Horde, so I made a Zandalari priest for the testing. Did I look at the armor? I looked at the armor if it was there. But I can't tell you anything about it because I don't remember. I'm useless. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. Nilsaurus, thanks for the super chat. Here's for being a positive voice in my life. Likewise. Likewise, friends. Sir Anne said there's a new war front. My impression is that it's heroic battle for Stromgarde. So the first war front we got, but in heroic version. I do not plan on playing classic. What will you do when WoW dies? Probably sit down and hope I have some savings and make some big life decisions. Surprised to see the pet dungeon thing. I'm excited to see it. A tiny part of me, and this is like kind of unfair and possibly from a video creating perspective, but a tiny part of me was a little disappointed that it's another place that's dark, because Wailing Caverns was dark, and in Nomergon it was dark, and Stratholme it's dark. Like, these are very gloomy, poorly lit places, which just make them annoying to make look fun in video. I want like a bright one, but that's like super selfish and it doesn't matter, and I'm sure it's going to be a real cool pet dungeon. War mode is not mandatory in Mechagon. When WoW had said it's enabled, it means that it is available. It is a option. You do not have to do Mechagon in war mode, but if you do decide to do Mechagon in war mode, it's going to be wild because it is very condensed, and because there are a lot of environmental things that people can fight over and contribute towards and build. Like, you know, maybe there's more Alliance and Horde there, but the Horde decide that they farm a bunch of scrap real quick, and then the Horde like build a defense turret. You know, there's wild stuff that can happen. What was the catering like? Here's the real questions. Catering was good. They did a really good job of having inclusive options. So I'm a pescatarian. That means that I'm like a vegetarian, but I eat fish. But they had like 4 or 5 different meal options for the lunch, because only one of the meals was like catered. There was like some breakfast options there that I didn't know about, so I ate before I got there. And then they had a catered lunch, and then we went to a restaurant for dinner. And then there was a restaurant for dinner the night before that. But the catered lunch, they had like, of the 4 or 5 different things they were to eat, there was like 3 or 4 of them that were vegan. I think, and gluten-free. I'm not quite sure about that one, but they were vegan. So there's like all sorts of stuff I could eat. I didn't know what any of it was, but I ate it, and they were vegetables. They were delicious, although I did eat one very salty olive. Not their fault. Excuse me. I'm good. I haven't uploaded the Saturday video. I haven't recorded it yet. I have like a bunch of notes, and it's too much, and I'm scared. I think I might need to, no, I really want to cover everything from the trip today, because I need to spend the weekend making raid guides. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out tonight. Why Stratholme? Hard to say. We'll find out. There's like a storyline sort of going on with like the mysterious shadowy figure for pet battle stuff. So that might have something to do with it. Fish are friends, not food. They had vegan. Very nice. And cast cleanse disease, don't die. I'm totally fine. Fish are food, not friends. For me, fish are friends and food, although not the same ones. Thanks for being here with us. Dude, I would be here anyways because I'm lonely too, man. Do you ever run disc on your gnome? Actually, never. And it's funny because everybody I talk to about Priest is like, disc is the best spec in the game. It's so much fun. I was having conversations, maybe not the right word. I was listening to Taliesin talk at dinner because he's much better at it than I am. And he was going on about how much he loves being a disc priest and how he feels bad when he's being a disc priest because he's convinced that everybody else is not having as much fun as him. And it's funny because disc is the one spec I don't touch. Like, I play Shadow, and if I have to heal, I will play Holy because it just parses in my head better. You press the healing button, a heal happens. It makes more sense to me. But everybody says that. I should probably try it. It's probably going to be one of those things that I try it like 5 years from now, and I go, oh yeah, you're right, this is fun. I do plan to buy the Auctionist mount. I just need another 2.4 million gold. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm going to flip over. Hang on, no, I'm going to flip back so I can flip over using my button, my Stream Deck button. I need to come up with some more stuff with that. I want, like, not a soundboard, but I could do with, like, a drumroll sound for when we're opening a cache. Or, like, no, I don't want a drumroll every time I, like, loot a boss. That would suck. And then, also, this is my fish head. I went fishing at the Dark Moon Fair this morning. What am I doing? Ooh, I could buy a piece. Should I buy a piece of garbage? Let's buy a piece of garbage, shall we? Also, do I have a mythic? No. Do I? No. Yes, actually, I should have a mythic cache, right? Because I didn't play on Tuesday. I wasn't home. I don't think I've opened my mythic cache yet. I don't know why I've started slurring. Is that word? No, not slurring. What's the word for that? People tell me that I have it. A lisp? I've started lisping. Still plays the Shadow Priest. Never felt the urge to change my specs. Shadow is enough for me. Shadow is exactly what I want. And I don't need anything more. Ooh, I do have a cache. Is Taliesin that hyper in real life? 1000%. Absolutely. Although, real life. Like, I met him for like 2 days. I'm sure people will come across differently when they are in a situation like that than they do, like, at home when they're just being themselves. I know that I am more comfortable here because there's nobody here. Like, you guys are here, but you don't count. You do count, but you know what I mean, right? Like, I'm still really awkward in person. I'm trying to work on it by going to stuff like this and trying, but oh my gosh. I did some good stuttering this week. What am I talking? What did I get? That's a question. Ooh, the 415. Is that enough for me to ditch my 390 ring that has a socket? Because on one hand, a socket, but on the other hand, crit mastery. I will wear that, right? Yeah, you know what? I don't care. It's freaking 25 item levels higher. I'm not even gonna sim it. I don't care. I'm gonna enchant that right now. What do I want? I probably want more haste. I've been kind of going crit, but my haste is falling behind, so I'm gonna go haste. I am doing this through the follow your heart method and not the simcraft method lately. In next patch, I'll look up the guide again. I'm 409 now. Okay. You are real, but you're easier because you're on a screen, and I look at screens all the time. I know how to deal with those. People, less so. Sounds like you tripped over your tongue. I do that plenty. Hazel slurring looks like it's Tequila Friday. Oh boy. There's a reason I don't do drinking streams. And it's not that I don't drink. What am I doing? I said I was going to do time walking. So let's see who needs badges. Aside from this character. Okay, so there's going to be 2 mounts and then probably like some toys and stuff. So I'm going to do at least one on my mage. That's my Alliance mage, my Void Elf priest, and then this priest. Those are my 3 highest. So I'll do one in each priest and then my Alliance mage. So I'll do this character first. I'm going to post a group in custom. Anybody that likes to come can apply. Cataclysm dungeons. Let's find out. Or time walking. I'm not going to worry about picking up the quest for it because I'm probably only going to do the 1 per character. 86 or higher. Alright, sounds good. I could DPS or heal. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be awful at either because I'm honestly kind of paying attention to chat, but we'll see. It's Cataclysm. I played Cataclysm. I know these dungeons. I say as I like die to that charge in that first boss of black. What was it called? Was it Grim Batol? There's like the. Never mind. I don't know why I stream. Custom start. No, not find. Start. Hi, I'm Hazel. Looking for 4 more. Level 86 plus, and this is for 1 single time walking dungeon. That fish head is so big, right? Talking is easier with a bit of social lubricant. No lie. Excellent. I don't have to heal. Alright, 1, and then 1 DPS, 2 DPS, and our first tank. Sup dances. You are fast on that. And we off. No lie. So we got to talk to devs casually over lunch on Tuesday. Officially, like during round tables and stuff on Tuesday. Which was a little harder because it was like a lot of people that were in like a fairly big room in a circle. So you were like pretty far from everybody. And then at dinner on Tuesday. So I definitely managed to say the most things. I definitely managed to communicate the most during dinner because there were drinks. And I like, chilled enough to speak and communicate. Also, it was like dark, so I didn't have to worry about looking stupid because nobody could see me anyways. Oh man. But yeah, I did pretty good. I was like so starstruck for most of it, honestly. Fun fact, at BlizzCon 2018, when I was there, I saw in a hotel bar, well, lobby, near the bar. I wasn't at the bar. And I was talking to somebody. I had like met somebody and I was talking to them and chatting with them. And they asked me if I had met Ian, and I was like, no, I'm scared. And they were like, well, he's right over there. Do you want to say hi? And I'm like, no. I don't know what to say, man. I'm not great with meeting people. It's not something I really try to do. And I don't know, if I don't have like something to say, then I just feel awful for like wasting their time or whatever. So I don't do it. So fun fact, I like dodged out of the way to avoid meeting him at BlizzCon because I was scared and didn't know what to say, but actually got to sit down and have a conversation. Got to bring up a couple of things that I had questions about and got some satisfactory answers. And I'll probably, I don't know, I don't want to say too much because like, I don't want to be like, well, they promised to fix this. And then if they come up with a perfectly legitimate reason to not fix it, then that makes everybody look dumb. But I was very impressed by how like willing they are to, they're really doing their best, Black Morass? No, no, it's the one in Twilight Highlands on like the west side of the zone. Where you like flying the drakes. It's the first boss and he does that like charge thing. Dinner wine. I had ciders because that's like the one thing that is easy to order because I just ask them if they have any and then I pick one of whatever they say, which is usually just one because it's California and they're boring when it comes to cider. And because I know how I react to that. Like, how you tend to get very different reactions to different alcohols? I don't have enough drinking experience. Or at least I don't have enough varied drinking experience. I've been drinking like the same 4 things to know how other things are going to affect me. So usually I just stick to something that I'm familiar with. Are you going to upload the stream later? Of course. Usually Friday streams go up like Saturday morning, but if you were at any part of the stream, which it looks like you are, you should be able to find it before then in your YouTube watch history. Grimbatol. Yeah. Roundtable meetings kill me at work, so I feel you. I freeze up every time someone looks at me. I was just kind of like trying not to... I mean, a lot of the topics that we talked about were more rating focused and progression focused, and there were a lot of people that were at the summit that had a lot more experience than me in those fields. Like, I have a very casual perspective when it comes to rating because we're heroic only. So I mostly just listened to what other people had to say. I did say one thing which made me feel not super bad about being flown out there, which was mostly just to voice my support of, I really like filler raids and like smaller raids as opposed to like mega raid experiences because my guild tends to burn out at the end of really long raid tiers. So I really like smaller raids like we're getting with Crucible of Storm because that lets us experience it without like burning out on the content and also see each other a little bit more often. Like it's a reason to get back in and check things out. So I like that and I told him so. O'Neill Tucker, thank you very much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Appreciate the support. And Kim Shangle, welcome to the Squirrel Squad also. Thank you for the memberships, guys. Appreciate that. Did they talk anything about pets since you might mind pet battle expert fishkeeper? Actually, no. And while I understand where that would come from had it happened, I was almost a little bit glad that it didn't, because I think it would be a little silly if I'm just like the pet battle person, especially given that, like, if anything, Aranesh is the pet battle person. I'm just somebody who used to make pet battle guides that does so every now and then. And mostly, I mean, what do I do? But I'm glad that that's not, like, the only thing that anybody knows me for. General Umbrus, yes, thank you. The 8.2 announcement, I feel like they listened to the community and worked very hard on it. I would agree. I think there's definitely more of that to be done, but they're really trying to find ways to take feedback that work for everybody, because you can't... It's easy to say, well, they're not listening because they did this thing that I don't agree with. But WoW is such a wide game with, like, a diverse player base that does very, very, very different things, that they have different goals. And just because somebody doesn't like it doesn't mean it's not the right thing for another person. So they got a hard job. They're trying. Hang on. I'm going to look at my screen for a little bit just so I don't get impaled by a I don't know which one's top or bottom. Stalactite, stalagmite, spiky rock spear thing. Love leveling and time walking. I'm gonna get some experience on my other two characters when I run. Actually, that's not true. My one of the characters needs badges is my human bank alt mage, and she's 120 now, so she's good. I have this mount already, so if it drops for me, then I can roll off for it. I doubt it would, but it could. I want the wheel mount. So that was one of the only mounts that was enabled for us on the playtest. Like, it was the only new mount that we were able to use. So everybody's rolling around through Mechagon on the wheel mount, and it is awesome. The mount special is amazing. It, like, does a wheelie, but, like, you're in it. It's really, really cool. That one's going to be a trip to get, though. That one is the reward for the Mechagon meta achievement, like the outdoor world meta achievement for the Mechagon zone, and there is a ton of stuff that is going to take you a while, so don't expect it. Hang on, I'm supposed to hide. Don't expect to get that one, like, overnight. It's going to be a journey, but that's going to make you like it more. Promise. Oh boy. No mount for me. I'm going to try and remember to do the reflecting properly in this next boss. I just want the world to know that I know how to do it. I'm probably going to forget, but I can try. I don't like to rain in people's parades, but I think it's a little stupid. We're only going to have the new Azerite system for half the expansion before it goes away. I think that's fair. I think that's a valid criticism. It is nice that even though it's only going to be half the expansion, I appreciate that they're not just writing it off and going, well, oh, well, never mind then. We'll try something again next time. Like, I appreciate that they're making an effort to salvage it for the rest of this expansion. And I think even though we're not keeping Azerite with us, hopefully, for, like, into the next expansion, they always seem to take lessons that they've learned from systems that they've done and then apply the best parts of those to what they're doing next. And it doesn't always work out. But even if it's not a very long-lived system, I'm hoping they'll still learn from the experience of it. Stalagmite is the ground one because mites crawl on the ground. Good. That is exactly the kind of thing that I need to remember it. Mites crawling around. Okay. I can try. The only reason I remember port and starboard is because port and left both have 4 letters. That's the only way I know that one. I feel like the addition of Classic really helped with that. The division between two crowds that can't be pleased at the same time. I do think so, yes. I think that's a big step that can help them sort of like cater to those two different audiences. And there will still be differences within those things, but it makes sense. It's a good start. Stalactites hang tight to the ceiling. Stalagmites might reach the ceiling. How was it? Did you enjoy getting out and meeting everybody? It was better than last time. And last time was fun. I'm not criticizing the event or anybody that's organized them. It's more an effect of my own inexperience with doing things like this. But I had a better time because I was less anxious because I'd kind of done it before. Any of you guys that have been with the channel for a while might remember that last year, like almost exactly a year ago, there was a similar thing. There was like a BFA media event that I flew out there to do. So the fact that I'd done some of it already helped make me a little less anxious about it. I was was still real nervous and kind of awkward, but there was also, I wasn't the only one, right? That I could kind of look around at some other people that were having the same experience as me, and that helped a lot. So I thought it was good. It was really interesting. It's sort of like a weird cross between an ego boost and like odd survivor's guilt of like feeling like I don't deserve to be there and wondering what I don't know. I was very concerned with making it worthwhile to have been chosen. Like I was real stressed out, like, oh my gosh, do I have good feedback about this thing? You know, like is my perspective relevant here? And like, oh my gosh, what if my video is not good enough? You know, is there like a certain amount of views that if it doesn't get there, I'll be like, well, not bringing her back anytime soon. Like I was just real worried about that, but I also recognize that a lot of those worries are just normal to have and also not something that's super serious. As long as I'm doing my best and I'm not like taking it super lightly, I'm sure it's fine. Meeting people was cool. I've met Talios and Nevitel before, but it was really nice to have an opportunity to actually talk to them, because last time I met them at BlizzCon, it was like at a party, and it was loud as hell, and I couldn't hear anything they were saying. And this time, I actually got to chat with them a bit, which was really nice. They are exactly as lovely and magical in person as they are on the screen. Also tall. Do you know they're tall? They're like real tall, like both of them. Yes, that was awesome. Question: did you cleanse in Zoth's gift? Hang on. Question: did you cleanse in Zoth's gift on your main gnome Shadow Priest? Answer is no. Hang on. I'm gonna do this right. No, I haven't done it yet, and I need to. And I'm actually, it's like added to the list of things that I'm behind on, so I want to reflect a Shadow of Pain on me. And now it's down. And I have 11 seconds left of that. And now, when he stuns me, hopefully I still have some of it left. Oh no, I'm not gonna have it left. Hang on, does he not stun you anymore? Did they change this? Alright, well never mind. Alright, so I reflected... It used to be that you would reflect a dot in yourself. Intentionally. And then he would stun you. And having the dot would break it. And I don't know what classes that were not dot classes even did. I don't know. But that doesn't appear to be happening anymore, so maybe I'm confusing this with another boss. That ground slime he does is still extremely strong, so you want to get really far back out of that. Hard for melee. Feel the strength of the earth. He just like really means it. I appreciate that in him. Rest dances. For once. The tables have turned. Yeah, no, I'm real behind on stuff. I still need to do the Brawlers Guild quest line. I need to do the regular Magni quest line that they added in 8.15. I need to do the parrot thing. The baby parrot thing. I haven't done that yet. I just get distracted. A lot. Blizzard's being shellfish with the crab mount. Oh no, there's gonna be a crab mount. That was part, I mean, you guys saw it was part of the loot picture in the announcement. Patch is not Tuesday, no. PTR. PTR next week. Patch is gonna be a little bit. Are they both over 6 feet? I mean, you'd have to ask them. They're the ones that, like, actually know. I had a guess. I would say Tally almost certainly is. Avatel's probably close? It was hard to tell, because I was wearing... She had flats on, and I had heels. But she's probably about my height. She's probably, like 5'10 or 5'11. Like, 178 to 180. I might be overestimating it. I'm not sure. Ask her. But, yeah, they're both tall. Having flashbacks of wipes on this boss. Yeah, no, he's tall, and it's surprising. I don't know what it is about their camera, or like their camera angle or something, but yeah, it doesn't come across as much. Although people think that I'm tiny because I play a gnome, and that's not true either. Have you ever hardcore PvP'd? I know you didn't mean it to be said like that, but I have to say that way. Hardcore PvP'd. And if so, BFA PvP guides. I don't know what you count as hardcore. I've done arena. I used to be not good. I used to be happy with my skill level. I no longer am. I peaked at like 2593 in Warlords, and that was like once. For the most part, through VoD, I played at like 2.2 to 2.4, and I have not been that good since. I have not been above 2.2 in Legion, I don't think. And then in BFA, I've like barely brushed 2K because I like don't play that much. So I PvP, but not enough to make PvP guides. And in the past, when I have made PvP guides, they have performed horrendously. Nobody watched them, so probably not going to try that one again for a while. I feel like that market's also covered by people that are much better at it and spend more time with it. I might do like a beginner's guide, because I feel like that's something I'm qualified to do at some point, like a how to get into it. I'm 5'10". I'm not planning on playing vanilla in the slightest. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure, alright, bring the Smoldering Ember to Stormwind. These quest lines are short, but half an hour each. Yeah, next time I have just like a night off that I just want to like chill and quest by myself, I'm probably just going to try and knock a bunch of them out, especially now that I'm done the Horde War campaign. For a while, in order to get this mount, I was spending a bunch of time doing Horde questing campaign and War campaign, and I just finished it. So actually, the only thing I need left now for Zandalar Troll Unlock is going to be rep. I need rep. I am just dinged Revered with Zandalari, so I need another 21k rep. Esprits are squishy while questing. You gotta be careful until you get a bunch of gear. A model? Dude wears a suit everywhere he goes. Used to be an actor? In what possible circumstance do you ever need to know the difference between a stalactite and a stalagmite? You have a point. You're not wrong. I like to know things that are not necessary, and then correct people in like really bad situations to correct them. So I'm just like banking away that knowledge so that one day in like 24 years I can be like, actually it's a stalagmite because it comes from the ground and that's where the mites crawl. I'm just waiting for that moment. I'm gonna be like 55 and it's gonna not go over well. Like I'm just gonna be rude and then accidentally rude. I'm never intentionally rude. I am occasionally accidentally rude because I'm a little bit oblivious, but it's like my worst fear to be rude. So I'm like, I really don't try, but it's gonna not go over well. And people are just gonna be staring at me like, all right, fine, whatever. It doesn't change the point of the story. Oh, okay, all right. Handing in this thing. Isn't being a healer more pressure in PvP? Yeah. Easier to get groups though. Also, it's adrenaline inducing. It is. Especially like, all right, so it's kind of one of those things where like the lows are really low because you know what mistake you made. It was really bad. It was kind of embarrassing and your friends yelled at you. So that sucks. But when you're good, like when you're on fire and you just like, you land the CC and you land the other CC and you hot up the guy and then you like judge the cooldowns and you like pre-cooldown a thing and then you tell your guy to go because like, you know, we use this. They don't have this. Get aggressive. You've like read the whole situation. You just feel like a genius. You feel like a mastermind, like puppeting around all these people. And when you win and it was because of you, you know it, and it feels amazing. It's very hit and miss. I'm sure it feels great to win by DPSing too, but like there's a lot more. There's a lot that goes into arena healing. I want that mount, but haven't been willing to run my Horde player right now. Yeah. I felt really bad during some parts. I kept emoting /sorry at NPCs when you're fighting them in the Horde War campaign. Like, I felt really bad about it, especially Telemon. I didn't want to fight Telemon. At least he went out like a hero. It took like 5 fights. Okay, I am flying. 1,000 geologists and spelunkers just fainted in horror. In Latin-based languages, it's easy. Monte is the same root as might. Notes pointing the ground. I'm having to come up with the dumbest like analogies in my brain to try and remember certain Korean words. Like some of them make sense to me, and then some of them I just can't remember. And one of them was like saying something is tall, I think, and I might be wrong about this because I'm trash at Korean, but it was like "�없습니다," And the only reason I knew that, or that I could remember that, is like if you're really high, if you're up somewhere high that's like really tall, like a tall mountain, like Isani Nopsamnida. If you're up there, you're going like nope, 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 because it's high and you're scared, right? That's the only way I can remember that one word, and I can't come up with stuff like that for every word, so I'm not learning it very quickly. It's been like 2 years and I've got like 9 words. Those are 2 of them. Oh god, where is this? I'm so close. It's right here.
I am listening. Be careful.
Also, because I'm learning it with Duolingo, it's giving me vocabulary, but not a bit of grammar. So like I don't know what verb endings are. Like I understand there's different ones, but I don't know the difference between them. And the same thing with like noun endings. So like if I'm talking about my cat, I've got koyangi, and it can, in some sentences it's koyangi ga, in some sentences it's koyangi nin, and I don't know the difference. I know I use them when it tells me to, but I don't know why. I need a better language learning thing. Most controversial thing I've heard her say is I'm not planning on playing Classic. Can you imagine if that was my next merch? I'm not planning on playing Classic, just on a shirt. Oh god, that would be terrible. I won't do it, I promise. Okay, what's next? So that was 500 badges. Oh, you know what? Actually, speaking of badges, real quick, I want to do the pet battles, because I am... Well, wait, did I do them this morning? I don't know. I'm going to pop by the Darkwing Fair real quick and see if I did the pet battles this morning. I don't remember. Hazley, you're the best. If you are really high. Did I say that? That's a rough way of learning a new language. Oh, yeah. Like high up, you know. It's like the reason I like Duolingo though is because it's so accessible. Like the only way I'm going to do it is if I do it every day. And all I can commit to is like 8 minutes a day. Like it has to be easy and it has to be really quick. Otherwise I won't do it. So the fact that I can just pick it up and do like 2 lessons real quick and like one of them's review and knock it out like that means that I'm actually doing it. So even if I have terrible Korean, it's better than no Korean. And no Korean is what I would have if I was trying to do it in a more serious way right now. So I'm planning on just like pecking away at this for like 3 more years, and then if I finish the Duolingo Korean course by then taking that knowledge and either like actually paying for a Korean class, or like staying in Korea maybe for a little bit. That sounds scary. Or there's websites that do have like worksheets and stuff. It's a problem with Duolingo. It's better than nothing. It's definitely better than nothing. See if your library has mango languages. That would be some bad merch. Again, better than no merch. But yeah, no, it'd be awful. I would buy that shirt. Half your fans will cry when seeing you. It's not personal. I don't ever want it to be like a confrontational thing.
What's your story?
I don't have a problem with Classic. I just don't want to play it. I missed the memo where that became a problem. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, and this is true with most things. I can't really say that something is bad, because I only have my perspective, and there's a billion perspectives. I can say that I don't like it, and I will happily say that. And I missed when that became controversial. And, I don't know. Hey John, that tea. Yeah, I can sound out Hangul, but I can't understand it if I don't know the actual words. How many characters do you have? Like, probably like 15. Bangs have been put together. I actually trimmed them today. I realized that I couldn't wait like 12 weeks between each bang trim, and I actually don't mind the way that I do them. So I just trimmed them today. I'm not giving you haircutting advice because I am not a hairdresser. I will give you amateur cuts her own hair in the mirror with scissors advice and say, if you're gonna do it, 1, be prepared to mess it up and realize that maybe that's okay because hair grows back, but don't be heartbroken if it's not perfect the first time. Secondly, get yourself a proper pair of scissors. Sharp scissors are good. Be careful with them because they are sharp. But if you cut your hair with dull scissors, you're going to kind of like, it's harder and you're going to kind of damage the ends of your hair and you're going to be just like chewing on it and it's bad. So like sharp scissors, you can buy hair cutting scissors for this. Thirdly, The way I do it, and actually, sorry, tip that I got from my hairdresser is make sure that when you're cutting the top of your hair, like you part it, and you part it so you've got like a triangle part. Mine goes up too far back because I cut too much of them and it just parts that way now. But you get like a triangle of hair here, and make sure that each end is like over the middle of your eyebrow. You don't want to cut hair that's like growing out of over here. I made that mistake too. Don't do that. And then I'll comb it out. I make sure I have a comb. And I'll just kind of, first of all, like hold it up here and sort of eyeball how much I want to take off. Like I'll look at myself in the mirror and go, oh, I want to remove a centimeter, or I need to remove, usually it's about a centimeter. And then just do a little bit at a time. If I need to take off like a bunch of length, I'll do like one snip and then go in and like look at it and like even it out, but just do it in very, very small bits so that you still have room to even it out. And then, to make it not quite so blunt, I snip sort of up into it a little bit to like feather them a little bit, and they're still not perfectly even all the time. Usually if you like do this enough, you can make it look like it's almost even if it's not. But yeah, that's what I do. Need a teacup, classic ain't my cup of tea. Oh, that is catchier than I will not play classic. Also, could you do a cute teacup graphic? My gnome looks cute. Do not use a bowl. The owl emoji's cute. Google's got some good emojis. Classic is expansive and immersive. That's why I like it. It's easy to get lost in the world of it, but I understand that that's not everyone's cup of tea. What a mature standpoint. I do see that actually. I do see how it would be more immersive, and I definitely get the point that people make about how when there is not cross-server conveniences and you are on a server community, how it becomes more of a community. I definitely feel the value of seeing a guy and knowing, hey, that's this person. You know, they ganked me last week on their rogue, or I ran with this person in a dungeon. Or, you know, like you have history with the people in your server, and that is something that has absolutely been lost, and it is a loss. I am just willing to make the trade-off of the benefits we get in exchange for that loss. There are upsides and downsides to everything. And if you just like look at one of them and not the other one of them, then you're not getting a full look at what you're talking about. Classic spamming trade chat just to find a group for 40 plus minutes. That would be the downside. It's just a question of whether it's worth it to you. For some reason when I was younger, the only way I could remember why 8 plus 3 was 11 is because I would tell myself that 8 plus 3 equals 11 because they don't like each other. What? I get what you're trying to say, but I don't get how you got there. They don't like each other. That's funny. I used to do math in increments of 5. Like whenever my teachers wanted me to multiply or add something, this was like young math, right? I would do it in 5s first because those made more sense to me. Like I learned how to count by 5 really early and thought it was like a real cool party trick. So I would do that, and I would do the math in 5s, and then I would just like add up the excess after I was done in 5s. In hindsight, 10s would have been better. 10s divide more nicely into things, but 5s were just what I liked. And now I'm an adult and I don't have to do math anymore. They said I would and they lied. I have a phone. Oh, is Blackpink at Coachella today? I love their new mini album. Oh my gosh. Don't Know What to Do is such a banger of a song for me. I did ride in the Darkman Fair roller coaster. I did it one time and I will never do it again. I could look for about 5 seconds before I had to not look at it anymore, and that's because I'm very prone to motion sickness. Also, there's a part in Mechagon like that, actually. There is remember, what dungeon was it? There was like a water slide part of a dungeon in like Legion. It was in High Mountain, that High Mountain dungeon. It's one expansion ago. Why have I forgotten the names already? You know what I'm talking about. There was a water slide. There's one of those, but like through a sewer kind of. In Mechagon, and I couldn't look because it made me dizzy. I do have a Squirrel Squad cup. It's like the Squirrel Squad shirt design, but on a mug. I've got one of them in my kitchen. I struggle with wanting to cut all my hair again, but I want to grow it out to do Nordic style braiding. There are always wigs, although they're never as comfortable as your regular hair. But I feel that. Hi, Hazel. What's up? I wouldn't play classic, but I'm not interested in writing on other people's parade. Exactly. You guys are all just so well adjusted. Appreciate that. They always tell you to surround yourself with people that you want to be like. And I feel really lucky that you guys just happen, like, that just happened. You know, like some streamers have an audience that if you watch them enough, you feel like the audience and the streamer have like a toxic relationship with each other. And I feel like you guys are just great role models. Like you got, like, you're interesting. You've got cool jobs. You've got nice things to say. You're friendly. Like you respect boundaries. You're great. I couldn't ask for a better chat. I need tea. Do I have more tea? Also, this is my new strat for this boss, by the way. I love Pocket Cannon in this fight because he bursts down Mr. Pointy and then Auto comes out and he is going to debuff me with Darkmoon Curse, and that's fine because then I can just explode on him. So I die, but I come back because I'm mechanical. And then 1700, you know, 40% of 1700 is a big explosion. Huge chunk of free damage. Love that. Do you think we'll lose in-game activity when Classic comes out? I think if anything, guessing. If anything, I think it might actually be more, because people will sub to Classic that are not currently subbed to WoW. People that haven't been subbed to WoW in a long time. People that remember Classic, but quit like 8 years ago. They're going to come back and play some Classic, and at some point, they might get curious as to what live WoW is like. And their Classic sub will also cover WoW. It'll be one sub for the both things, if I remember correctly. So if anything, you might get some more people coming back to check it out because they have already got access to it through their Classic sub. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there'll be a mass exodus and it'll be all empty around here. And if that's true, then it might be easier for me to finally get a Time Lost Proto Drake. I am going to grab my tea. Right back. I will go big screen so you can hang out with the fishy. Okay. I'm being thwarted by a childproof knockoff Dayquil bottle right now, and I was gonna do this in the kitchen, but I was taking too long, and I wanted to not leave my stream alone. But I can't open it. It says to squeeze it. Is there... Am I missing something? Squeeze, turn. I am squeezing and turning. I should have been a... I don't know. Who has hands that can do this? Yeah, you can copy paste something if it was missed. Let's see. PvP collab video? Dude, I wanted to edit that while I was traveling because I figured that's, you know, I have the files, they're not that big. I can slap them on my iPad and try and cut it up while I'm traveling. And I can't find my video file. I checked my baking stream PC, I checked this PC, I checked my external hard drive. I don't know where it is. I definitely never deleted it on purpose, but now I'm worried I've deleted it by accident. I have the voiceover still. I can't open this. There should be a textured part of the lid. Yeah, so there's like a flat part and then another flat part, and it says that I should... You're never going to see that. It says that I should squeeze and turn, and I'm on the flat part, squeezing and turning, and I just don't think that I'm strong enough. Oh! Wait, did that happen? Hang on. There we go. Okay. I just had to believe in myself. Grip lower. It's a cold medicine thing. Hang on. I'm just gonna do a half dose. Take this back to the kitchen. Okay, so yeah, I only rode the Dark Moon Fair roller coaster once, but man, I love that stream deck. I can just do that with a button. Yeah, I only rode the roller coaster once, but I like that you can hear the effects of it. Like, you can hear roller coaster sound effects in the fair now, and you can actually see it up there. At first, I thought you couldn't see it. I don't know if you can see people on it. I think they might be, like, phased. I'm not sure. I haven't actually tried to, like, watch somebody on it. I might have to wait here for a while to see if it, like, goes up or not. I wanted to watch it. Like, I don't want to be on it. I want to watch other people on it. That's all I do at roller coasters anyways. Hazel takes drugs for her stream. I just a little decongestant. No big deal. Okay, so that's Pet Daily's done. Did I get anything in my bag? Prize tickets. Okay, let's do another time walking. I don't know how many, I'm gonna need 5K badges for, 5K badges for, yeah. So I might be kind of sort of close on my mage. Because what is it? One more time walking after this? Time walking, dungeon event begins. So there's this time walking, and then mop time walking, and then WoD time walking in May, like late May. So you get 500 for this, so if you're up 1,000, so I'll be 4,400 when it comes along. Yeah, I'll be able to grind it out. I'll be able to grind out one mount. The second one will probably have to wait. But the one is the cool one anyways. What's up, Zafty? Evening Squirrel Squad. Did any of you guys see that picture that I put in the Squirrel Squad Discord of... It was a screenshot that one of you guys sent to me of a new Hearthstone card with the flavor text. And the Hearthstone card is like... Oh, what was it? It was called like the Acorn Bear or something. It's like a troll with like squirrels on her shoulders and a squirrel gun. And the death rattle is summon 2/1/1 squirrels, and the flavor text is you'd be nuts to mess with the Squirrel Squad. And I don't know if that has anything to do with us. It very well may not. It's just like a pun, but I love it either way. I'm so happy. Excuse me. Mage? Yes. Mage. I can show you my super cool new arcane skills, which consist of pressing Arcane Blast. That's all I got, really. Seems to be doing a good job. Here is my battle hero. Hero is Poppy. Didn't turn sounds on while riding the roller coaster? Why don't you play your Velv? I'm gonna play one time walking on her today. Ever since I decided to not switch from my gnome, she's been relegated to alt status, which means gets played a little less. Hang on. I want to make sure I don't. No, I need that ring. No, I need. All right, I'm just gonna not DE any rings. And try not to delete anything important. Thank you for the super chat. I want to say Johan Johansson, but I'm not sure. I hope it's not Johan. I don't know. I'm sorry. I hope it's whatever it is. I'm making it, I'm sounding dumb. I appreciate the support. If you could manipulate an element, which one? Also, what class has the most awkward / dance moves? Good luck with opening the bottle. Odin, the Allfather. Bottle made it open, so that's one. If I could manipulate... Hang on, I'll come back to that because that's interesting. Class with the most awkward dance moves, I think, is the female Kulturan. Because they do, like, the modern dance thing, but they only have 2 moves. And they just keep going through them over and over again, and I think it's a little much. She doesn't really pull it off. She would if she had more of them, but it just doesn't translate very well into a looping dance. Also, I dressed up my mage as a Tide Sage. If I could manipulate an element... Not fire, because that sounds dangerous. Not wind, because that sounds kind of useless. What else? We got earth. I feel like... So I'm thinking of, like, in a real-life application. Like, if I, right now, could manipulate elements, but still have to abide by the rest of the rules of, like, my life. If I was able to manipulate earth, the only thing I could really use that for is to help me landscape. Like, if I get a garden and I need to, like, till it and, like, shake up the earth a bunch... That would be easier if I could manipulate earth, but that's all I could really do with it. I think I would go with water. Because with water, I can make sure that my showers are the right temperature. I can probably save people that are drowning if they're drowning near me. This has never happened to me, but it could. I could, I mean, I'm assuming if I have total control over it, if I can manipulate the pH and the, the carbonate hardness and the, total dissolved solids, the TDS, and temperature and all that, then that would make it very easy to take very good care of all kinds of crazy fish. Like salinity, like, man, that would be great. I could also make my water more suitable to tea. Water that is very hard will change the flavor of tea, so I could customize that based on what kind of tea I want. That's probably not what you meant when you meant control over elements, but that's how I would use it. Okay. I have my mage here. She is looking spooky, and I'm going to start a group for another Timewalking. Same thing. Although I have to DPS this time. Start a group. Hi, I'm Hazel. Taking a healer, tank, 2 DPS. North America, Alliance. Healer, tank, DPS, DPS. And we good. Thanks, guys. Let's do one of these. Hazel the tea bender. Human female is a close second on dance. You mean you don't like the Macarena? That was like the meme dance of my childhood. The Macarena was huge when I was like 6 or 7. And I felt very accomplished at doing it. That and a chicken dance. Maybe I just went to a lot of weddings as a kid. I guess I don't need that. Oh boy. This one. This one. I'm gonna put my feet in the floor for this one. Sit up straight. Ow, I shouldn't do that. I'm old. Here we go. I'm going to make some food. That's like my favorite thing. Whenever I get into like a world boss group or like just a random group of any kind on any of my mages, I immediately make food. I probably shouldn't be arcane, actually. I know how to arcane in the outdoor world, but as soon as I start running out of mana, I'm like, alright. Let's do this. I need a water Ellie. Apologize in advance for my damage, but I don't have a damage meter up, so nobody will know. And then so after I flurry, I want to send out 1 Ice Lance. If it's a group, I probably want a Blizzard. I can also Frozen Orb, although that's a cooldown. I feel like I'm late, so maybe next time. And other than that, hang on. What's that proc? Glacial Spike. I expect into Glacial Spike. I don't know what that does. Earth, wind, and fire get funky. I would do water. All animals are made out of water. I hate the dance. Fair. It's not a very fashionable dance. I've never seen anybody look like really hot doing the Macarena. Like, can you imagine? Like, imagine like the most attractive person you can possibly think of, and then imagine them doing the Macarena. Not good anymore, right? Pretty Tide Sage, beautiful transmog. Why, thank you. It's questing gear. I love the BFA questing gear. I thought they did an amazing job on it. I know that we didn't get tier sets, but I would wear this as a tier set. I think this is awesome. I love that, like, it feels like sometimes tier sets, I feel like there's a lot of pressure for them to make them, like, crazy, you know? Like, moving parts and fire and dragons and, you know, pig heads spouting blood off your shoulders and whatever. That hasn't happened yet, but it should. But with questing stuff, I feel like they're able to make gear that's more toned down, but because it's more toned down, it can be more realistic and immersive and look like something that a Tide Sage or a farmer or a, you know, a troll priest would actually wear in their day-to-day life. And that's the kind of thing that really drives, like, class and character fantasy for me. So I actually really like a lot of the BFA questing sets because they're still themed, but they're not so over the top. If I hear Frozen Orb, is that going to pull that stuff? I don't know. I wouldn't mind manipulating fire if I'm not at risk of fire. I've had actually gratefully fairly few experiences with fire and like unintentional fire. Like I don't think I've been burned a whole lot. You know, the odd hair iron, the odd cooking burn. I've had worse luck. Oh, did we double pull? Did I double pull? Was that me? I might have done that. That might have been my Frozen Orb. I've had worse luck with accidental knife injuries. I had a problem chopping a carrot once as a old child / young teen, and I took off, this is a gross story, the tip, why am I telling this? It's awful, of my middle finger, just like the very, very, very tip of it, and I didn't know what to do, and it was bleeding like a lot, so I just taped it back on, and it healed fine. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Go to the doctor. You can get infections. But, let's see. Yeah. So I'm extra careful chopping carrots now. Because you need, like, a lot of force to chop a carrot, right? Water plants. Take fish for a walk. Oh, that's true. You could water plants with it. I get a lot of enjoyment from watering plants with water from my aquariums because it serves the dual purpose of helping me do a water change. And that water is like extra good for the houseplants. Plus, it's already been dechlorinated. It's awesome. Water, so I could drink water whenever, and I could save people from drowning, but I would also drown people. What about being able to provide water, clean water, for places that need it? You could head down to places that don't have clean water supplies and help out there. Control fire, become a blacksmith. My parents' house caught fire when I was a teenager. Fire bad. That really, really sucks. We actually did have a house fire, actually, now that I remember it. There was an incident with our wood stove. And it was scary because we had to, like, evacuate and the fire engine had to be called. But it was put out, like, really quickly. My stepdad stayed in the house and just grabbed a fire extinguisher and put it out. And there was smoke damage, but no actual, like, fire damage. But I've always been extra cautious of wood-burning heat stoves. What had happened was we had not cleaned... Like, we cleaned the chimney, but we had not cleaned it often enough, I guess. Or for some reason, there was a big creosote buildup in the chimney. And that's very, very flammable. And if it gets hot enough up there, it will cause a chimney fire, which is what happened. So if you have a wood-burning stove, clean your chimney. It's important. Skip that trash. Yeah, I'm not so good at skipping trash. I always manage to accidentally pull it. Worst TV villain, carrot people from Lost in Space. I missed that one. First time catching you live. Welcome. Kept mine trying to cut a near stale bagel. Ooh, did you do it with a bread knife? Ooh, that's awful. Only time I've ever cut myself after decades of knife play. Something happened to me too. Slicing fruits, didn't tape it. It grew back. It grew back. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. Always be careful if you have any kind of skin wound. Disinfect properly. See a doctor if you need stitches. You don't want to get an infection. They can get very, very bad very quickly. Odin the Allfather is pleased with your answer. If you had to choose fire, how would you use it to save the 9 realms of Asgard or Earth? Thank you for the additional super chat, Johan. If I had to choose fire, how would I use fire? Hang on, I don't remember this fight, by the way. How would I use fire to save us? Time warp. How would I use fire to save the 9 realms of Asgard? I am not actually up to date on my Norse mythology or my comic universe, depending on which one you're getting it from. Obviously, the comics draw on the mythology, but if I had to save the world with fire, how do you do that? The only example that comes to mind is in Stratholme, because this is all I have, apparently. Blink. You were burning plagued grain, but I would still have to identify what kind of grain is plagued. I guess you could create energy. If you have control over fire and you can just create fire for free, then that's free energy. So you can make free, if you can do it without, it depends on if my fire is emissions free or not. If it is like environmentally clean fire, then I want to create free and clean energy and use it to support positive initiatives, you know? Replace some of the coal burning, make some free electricity, support like electric cars and whatever that'll use my clean electricity so that we can reduce like the fossil fuel burning, that kind of thing. I am stuck and dead, but we did kill the boss. There's gonna be a BlizzCon. It's not like official, but we talked about it and they're like, well, it's not official, but there's gonna be a BlizzCon. There's gonna be a BlizzCon. There were 2 years that they did not do BlizzCon. One of them was the second year, so they did a BlizzCon, skipped a year, and did more. So that one like barely even counted. And the other one was 2012, and they did say that after 2012 there was like a general feeling of we should have done BlizzCon, even if there's like nothing. I should just release. Even if there's, well, is there anybody that can rest me? No, that's the healer jumping back. I'll just wait. Even if there's nothing to announce, that's not all BlizzCon is about. That's not the only thing that it's there for. By fire be purge. The only answer that comes to mind is Stratholm. Yeah, there was no BlizzCon in 2007, I think, was the first one, and then 2012. Ooh, I probably need those. Oh, I super need those. The time gate. Oh, no one knows where to go? From here? Do we get back? We can't go forward. I think we have to go back. Let me... I'm guessing we can't water stratter across here. Should I try? Hang on, I should heal myself up first. So I'm in combat, actually. So if I invised, I'm still in combat. I also don't have any mana buns. Where did my mana buns go? I had some. Yeah, no, it's not. Oh, it's because I didn't. Oh, I have mana cakes now. I see. Sorry, I want to do it. I just want to make sure I'm at full health. I'm coming. I was having issues with my mana cakes. I understand now. Alright. This does not work. Can confirm. Thank you. Back to the portal. It does damage. Jumping is a skill. Jumping is a skill I do not have. Black... What is it called? With the Naga. The early one. Black Fathom Deeps. Jumping puzzle and Black Fathom Deeps. Gosh, I was like horrible at that for like the first 5 years I played WoW. I would fall every single time and it was always embarrassing. Brian, I will not read your story out loud because it gives me a funny feeling in my stomach, but I've read it and that sucks. Hey Hazel, do you watch Game of Thrones? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be good. I've been avoiding trailers. I don't really know why. But usually I'll watch a trailer if I'm like on the fence about watching something. And if I already know that I'm gonna watch it, I don't really try to watch the trailer. I don't really avoid it, but I also don't try to watch the trailer because I don't want to be spoiled on too much, I guess. So I'm definitely gonna watch Game of Thrones. I've seen it all up until this point. I've read the books more than I've seen the show. So I'm a little disappointed that the story's ending without being able to read it first, but I will get over it. Black Fathom Depths, not Deeps. You're probably right. You are probably right. Black Fathom Deeps. No, I'm right. Sorry, the one time. The one time it's actually me. Real close, though. I had to do presentation, but I was so nervous. I hate presentations. You are not alone. I'm sure you did great. I'm sure you did better than you felt like you did, because that usually seems to be the case. I always come off of stuff like that feeling like it was like a catastrophe, but then everybody tells me it was fine. Have you seen Naruto? I used to watch Naruto as a youngin'. I was very into anime as a 12 to 13-year-old, maybe 14. Like a little too into it. It was not it was not cute. But not anymore. Not recently. Don't have a problem with it. It's just I'm very behind. I got the impression that they've like kept going all this time, so I've missed a lot. Trailers spoil everything nowadays. Movie trailers are awful for that. There was that one movie, and I don't remember the name of it, but the gist of it was there was like an alien water woman who was in a like fishbowl, and the deaf janitor was like talking to her, or maybe the genders were reversed. I don't remember, but I don't remember what the movie was called. But it looked really interesting, and I watched the trailer for it because it was like playing ahead of another movie. And by the end of the trailer, I felt like I'd watched the entire movie, so I never watched it because I like know what happens. Excuse me. Awesome, glad to catch you live today. Welcome, Nika. The books will have a different ending anyways. They'd better. They'd better. I love the show. I think it's great, but I think that they're doing much less well than they did before they still had material to work on. That was the worst sentence I've ever constructed, but I think it's gone downhill since they ran out of books, basically. I think it's still good. It's still great TV, but they need George, and unfortunately for them, George does what he wants. Shape of Water, yes. I never watched The Shape of Water because I liked the trailer so much that I felt like I'd already experienced it. I bought the yellow tinted glasses. I used them and was seeing if they were any good. I noticed a slight magnification even when I chose no magnification. Gasp. Oh dear. Huh. I need to, unrelated, I need to see an eye doctor. I've actually been really stressed about this for a couple of weeks, and it's kind of silly, but like, I feel like my long range vision's going, and it feels like it's going kind of rapidly, and that's really scary to feel like you've had perfect vision for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's just like, you just don't anymore. And it feels like the end of the world, even though I'm not going blind. You know, maybe I need glasses. And if I need glasses, lots of people need glasses, you know? It's fine. It's not a problem. It doesn't mean I'm dying. It doesn't mean I'm going blind. People live full, wonderful, healthy lives with glasses. But, like, obviously, but, like, for whatever reason, it's just freaking me out. I just need to get to an eye doctor so I can take an eye exam and find out if I'm just crazy or not. Because the problem is, like, I don't remember how much I'm supposed to be able to see. So I can, like, look at a sign and be like, oh, no, I can't read that. And then realize, well, I don't know how far away I'm supposed to be able to read this sign. But it does feel like it's worse than it has been. And I also feel extra guilty about it because I'm like, well, what if it's because I spend so much time looking at screens? You know, my monitor is like 1.5 feet, 2 feet in front of my face. I'm on this thing like all day, every day. You know, I've also got like a phone and an iPad. I'm on those a lot too, and I'm not doing those. I'm watching TV. Like the only times I'm looking not at a screen is when I'm walking my dog once or twice a day, and if I'm like talking to my husband, who's usually like screen distance from me. Like I'm never looking at far things. I don't spend a lot of time outside, and I'm worried that I ruined my eyes by doing that. You know. Shape of Water ending was refreshing and unexpected. Oh, well then maybe I should watch it. Oh, we got trash.
I don't know who you are, but I'll defend this shrine with my
You probably just need glasses. I have glasses.
now.
As a teenager, I got glasses for farsightedness. Like I needed glasses to see things close up. And I don't actually know now looking back if I needed them because I was a teenager. I don't know if I needed them or if I like just really wanted them because my sister had glasses and I thought she was just the coolest. I have an older sister. She's like 2 years ahead of me and she's just awesome. So I don't remember if I actually needed them or if I just really wanted them because she had glasses. But that was for the opposite problem. That was for not being able to focus up close. And now I can't focus from far away. Dental isn't separate. You wear glasses often enough as it is. Well, that's my other question is how would gaming glasses work if I had actual glasses? Would I have to get like tinted versions of them? Do I just get contacts? Contacts look scary. I watch my husband put in contacts and take them out. I'm like, oh my God, you're touching your eyeball. And I mean, I can touch my eye, but like it looks like you're pulling it off. I don't know. Hazel, please see your eye doctor. It's something that the generic you should do yearly. Yeah, you're probably right. Is it gonna am I going to make it worse by not doing it, or am I just going to be blind by not doing it? Like, that's my question. Am I am I actively making it worse by not getting glasses? Or as long as I can like squint my way through life and I'm not walking into stuff, am I okay? That's my question. Obviously YouTube does not come with health benefits, but I am lucky that my husband's work covers both of us. So I think I have medical through there. It's not, I don't know how much it is, and we would probably still have to pay something for it. Craving chocolate chip cookies, so I'm making some. The right call. Are you single? Super married. Super married. I said that to like an arena pug like 5 years ago on a Twitch stream, and for whatever reason it was just the funniest thing. I don't even remember why. They must have asked if I was single. I wouldn't just like open with that. But I think he was high, and I just remember telling him I was like super married, dude. My memory may have been fuzzy on the incident. A while ago. I did see BTS's new video. Okay, so I watched the entire video waiting for Halsey to have a part. And then the video ended and I'm like, oh, she just sings over them in the chorus. Like, you can hear her if you're running headphones, and it's nice. I think she works really well with it, and I appreciate that she actually got to film with them, because for most collaborations between K-pop groups and Western artists, you get the situation where they don't have any time to film together, so you get like the Steve Aoki thing where he's just like bumping his car with Monsta X playing. But I was waiting for her to have a part, and then the song ended and she didn't get one. She just sings with them on the chorus, so that was surprising, but I think the song's great. I like it a lot better than Fake Love, and I like it better than Idol too. Like, those are both good songs, but I like this one a lot better. It's more like easy listening, if that makes sense, so I'm really excited about it. I have gaming glasses that fit over my regular glasses. Oh, so you just like double glasses it, or like they clip on? Forgive me for asking, how old are you? Not at all. I am 27? I think I'm 27. No, I'm definitely not older than 27. Yeah, I'm 27. Yeah. Next run I'll be Unholy. I'm gonna grab a new group for the next one. I'm doing one run on each character in like a new group to get some extra people through here. Not sure why I'm wondering, but what's your favorite WoW dance? Ooh, Male Draenei. He does the Tinek Tinek Tin thing, and also I just love Male Draenei. They're so like wide. It's delightful. It's just a real look, you know. Where can I get gaming glasses? This is the part where I wish I was sponsored. No, you can buy them online. You could also just buy computer glasses, and those are the exact same thing. They might cost less. I have a video coming one day when I ever get caught up, which is not going to be anytime soon, but talking about the different ones. But these ones are cheap Amazon ones. These are like $15 on Amazon. The brand is called Gamma Ray, and I actually like them quite a bit. All right, so I'm going to Lust because, as I recall, it resets. So, well, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. And then pop all my cooldowns because, again, it will reset when we actually use our thingies. I'm not supposed to be hardcasting Flurry, am I? Oops, Daisy Zoo. Nope, that button. Obviously, I'm not a Frost Mage. I would like to take a moment to apologize to all of my Frost Mages out there for this astonishingly atrocious display of gameplay right now. Oh my gosh, during the playtesting at Blizzard? So you know how I play in an Orb Weaver? If you don't, I play in an Orb Weaver. I would show you right now, but I'm using it. You can find pictures of them on Google. It's basically a one-handed keypad with a joystick on it for movement. And does the same thing as a keyboard as far as WoW's concerned, but it looks very different, it's laid out very different, feels very different. And I have not played on a regular keyboard for any length of time since 2012 was when I switched. I switched in 2012. And maybe even 2011. I'm useless at playing WoW on a regular keyboard. And of course during playtesting, that's all they have, right? Like, that's what there is. So I'm doing a dungeon. I'm doing a test dungeon. Oh, we should have popped the thingy. I should do that. I'm sorry. I'll do it next time. Doesn't bring us back, does it? If you click the thing, does it bring us back? No? I'll click it next time. Don't worry. Oh, man. Although we won't get lost until the second one. So yeah, I'm running Mechagon. It's the dungeon we tested. With a testing group. I've got, like, a method tank sitting on my right-hand side tanking the dungeon, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I really hope I'm pressing the right buttons. I'm not good at this. This isn't how I normally play. I promise I'm not this trash. I actually think I did okay. Thankfully, it was undertuned a little bit, so I wasn't, like, holding us back. We still managed to kill all the bosses. But, oh my gosh, was that nerve-wracking. Do gaming glasses stack with regular glasses? I don't know. Somebody who in chat was saying they were. Will WoW make you a pink squirrel pet? Why would it be pink? I've never met a pink squirrel. Also, probably, I don't know. I don't think they really do that anymore. At least not as much as they used to. I haven't seen them do like a streamer or a content creator tribute in a while. I know they have done some, but like, I think that they've largely backed off from those. So I will hang out near the hourglass so I can click it. I feel like they've largely backed off from those because we live in a world now where a content creator can have a career for a while and then do something dumb. And then all of a sudden you don't really want them in your game and it's like awkward to go in and like take the tribute out. So I feel like it's less likely that they're going to do that kind of thing, which is totally fine. Love by Orb Weaver. I love it, but I totally get that it's not for everyone. I've heard from a couple of people that have like tried it and then just like hated it and switched, especially if they've been playing on a regular keyboard for a long time. It's very different. So I'm going to do a couple cooldowns. So usually you want to press the button to reset it once you start like running out of room. I'm just going to kind of wait until like we're like in a little bit of trouble, but we have 5 charges and his health is not reset. So you can kind of do this. It looks like we do still have temporal displacement. Maybe they fixed it so it doesn't affect time warp. But you can still use your own personal cooldowns. So I can throw out like the Frozen Orb and Icy Veins. Get a little bit of that going on. And then if it looks like somebody's about to die or we're like running out of room, then we can press it again. Yeah, we have like 3 more, so it's totally fine. This is, I think, the hardest dungeon for time walking. I think every other cat of time walking dungeon is easier. But I am glad that they included this one because it's a really cool dungeon. There we go. End time. So excited for Mount Water walking. I have not seen a Maze Runner movie. I use my glasses to play. After some time, it's the same as with no glasses. Who else was in your Mechagon dungeon group? We had at least one. So I didn't get it. Like, we didn't really introduce everybody by character names. So I know one of our members was like a QA person from WoW because they had to bring in a couple to fill out the groups. And then, there were 2 other people. One of them was, I think, and I don't think her name is public, so I don't want to say her name. Lovely lady. She was from a European website. She was like an article writer. I think she was our healer, and then there was somebody else. Like I said, we didn't introduce character names. It definitely wasn't like Tally or Evitel or Sloot. Because I think they were in a different group. Should always have your eyes checked. I did not, and it did get worse. I needed 2 corneal transplants to fix the issue. Okay, well now I'm scared. You're right, I should. We have a lot going on right now. Like today was a vet appointment for our dog. I think he might have just gotten home actually. He had his teeth cleaned today. And I think he might have had a couple removed, so we need to brush his teeth regularly because apparently he's got some issues with them. And then I just got back from my trip and there's like raid guides coming out. There's just like a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to like find time for it, but you're right, we should. Coating for lenses now that filter blue light. Don't cause a tint. Love my Orb Weaver. I have so many buttons. I know that people that don't play with Orb Weavers obviously find enough keybinds, you know, presumably through modifiers and stuff like that, you know. Plenty of people play classes with way more buttons than me and with multiple macros without needing to use a keypad. I just don't really get how in my brain. Like I'm just like looking at it and like, well, I need these ones for these things and these ones for these things. And I'm moving with like 3 fingers over on the left-hand side. I can't reach all this other stuff. Whereas here I have legitimately 20 keys that I can easily reach plus modifiers. I guess I should say I have 18 plus modifiers because 2 of them are modifier keys. And then one of them is jump. But it just makes more sense to me. I didn't actually catch which website it was. I think she told me, and it was kind of loud, and I didn't want to ask her to repeat herself. Super sweet, though. Stone Joker. He might be a little stoned. They had to put him under for it. That was a chunk of change. Little doggy. Least favorite class? Probably either Death Knight or Demon Hunter. And it's not a knock on those classes. I just don't really like being melee. And when you start, like, mixing melee with, like, spells, Ret's up there too. I'm just like, well, I don't know. Like, if I'm gonna be a melee, I'm not happy about it. Also, this is not where I need to be. And I would rather just, like, if I have to do it, I'd rather just, like, hit something with a stick, like a warrior, or just, like, stab it, like a rogue. Health should always come first. Oh, Linda, I'm sorry. Keys in my mouse that I use for everything. I'm the same way. So I've got, like, the 20 keys on the Orb Weaver, which looks like this if you've never seen one. So you got the 20 keys up here, and then you've got, like, your joystick, so all my movement is on this, and then I have, like, my map button, and bags button. Actually, sorry, map, and then bags. And then on my mouse, I have another, 12 buttons up there on the side of the mouse. And some of those will work with modifiers too, or like I've set some of those up to work with modifiers. So lots and lots and lots of buttons, which is nice because I never want to feel like I don't have a spot to put something. Okay. I don't know what the criteria were for inviting people, but I disagree with pay-to-win mounts. If there's a pay-to-win mount in the game, I would like to know. Okay. I need to take my Void Elf Priest through this one. She's actually going to get some experience for this. Gotta credit you for getting into the G13. Couldn't figure it out until I saw your video. Setting it up in a way that visually makes sense helped me a lot. I had LASIK 7 years ago. I could barely see in front of my face. I had 20/20 vision for about 5 years before needing glasses again. I need to take them off in front of a computer. LASIK, I've heard things about it, and I've heard people say that it just changes their life, but it also sounds really scary, like if it goes wrong. The risks on it are just terrifying to me. Ugh. I'm gonna heal this one. I'm gonna heal. I know how to heal. I don't know what that impression is, but it's not good. Pre-made. Custom starter group. We're doing a time walking. And I'm healing this one. So, looking for 3 DPS and a tank. Rat pallets can throw out some crazy damage when they pop wings. Okay. So, DPS, 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 and a tank. I got LASIK and it changed my life. It was less scary than I imagined and took about 3 minutes. Oh, that's fast. Any PvP or PvP content creators that gave feedback about it? Seems like we barely got any info about PvP. It wasn't a very PvP-focused event. I feel like that content... Like, they talked about... Like, they showed us the Robodrome. Waiting for a tank. They showed us the Robodrome arena, like, in a screenshot. But I think PvP is more... And they talked about how Mechagon was going to be very good for World PvP. But, like, PvP feedback... Like, it wasn't playable at the event. So it didn't really feel like the right place for PvP feedback. I did talk to them about... So when we were looking at the Titan essences and discussing the concerns about them being available from everything and working in everything, so that as a PvPer you might need a raid one or vice versa, I expressed a lot of... and not just me, but some concerns from a PvP character's perspective, because I do that sometimes, about... Oh boy, I don't want to have to not PvP on my PvP character to set her up. I would like it to be available from just PvP. I don't think I changed their mind, but I made it known at least. And wasn't the only one. Scary, but having a death ray aimed at your head and cutting your eyeball, exactly. It's just a iffy concept. I did LASIK at home with my cat toy laser. Oh dear. Disclaimer, that's a joke. Please don't do that at home. It's a bad idea. Am I set up for mouse overs? I am. Like that. Are all my buttons set up for mouse over? They are. Sick. Love mouse over healing. You guys know if health insurance covers LASIK? I don't know. I would imagine it varies depending on your insurance, but I'm not 100% sure. Every class puts it at crazy damage when they pop cooldowns. I mean, some classes don't have cooldowns. Cough, Shadow Priest, cough. I'm actually kind of excited with Titan Essences. A lot of those active abilities are cooldowns, like a big damage on like a 1 minute cooldown or 1.5 minute cooldown or whatever. And as a class, it doesn't have cooldowns. Like, when my raid leader tells us to, like, save stuff for a burst phase, I, like, look at my buttons go, I don't know, you want me to say what, Shadow Fiend? I really appreciate that I'm gonna have a button that I can save for a burst phase, or, like, use deliberately, because usually with Shadow, you don't hold stuff. You very, very rarely want to hold stuff. Usually you want to keep going to get the most mileage out of your Void form and get as many Void forms as possible. That's how you do the most damage. So having a button like that to experiment with that I can hold on to if needed for a little bit without being at the expense of my Void form is something that excites me. How long are you going to be streaming for today? So usually I do 2 hours, which would make me done in about 20 minutes. I could see doing a little extra today, especially because I missed a stream and because I miss you guys. I wanted to be a little conservative with that because if my voice starts to go, I will probably turn it off and like... Oh no, I can't go lay down. I gotta make the vlog. I'll probably just do until 5 then because I do still have to record and make the vlog. Yeah, normal 2 hour stream. I would say I'll do one this weekend. I want to stream more, but I don't have time. I need to make raid guides. I need to make one tomorrow and one on Saturday. Yeah, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and that should come out Sunday and Monday, right? And then the raid's on Tuesday, so it's fine. I cannot work on them Monday. I have plans on Monday. They're not plans that you find out about later this time. There's just a friend in town, so we're going to be doing that. And then, yeah, I have to make raid guides this weekend, so I can't plan for anything else. It should be fine. I can do one per day. It's funny, like, early in the, it's funny to me. I just talk to myself all the time. Early in the Battle of Desire lore raid guides, when I was working on them, the first one, Champion of Light, took me, like, a whole week. Like, a whole week's worth of work days. And I kept working on it, being like, well, it's not done. Well, it's not done. I want it to be perfect. Well, it's not done. And it took me, like, 5 days to make that first one. But by the end of them, I did, like, 2 or 3 per day in the last, like, 2 days because I needed to get them done. So I can't do that this time. There's only 2. It's going to be fine, and I'm just going to get them done. And I feel better about the amount of footage. I don't think I have footage of everything, but I think I have a lot more than I had to work with for Battle of Desire lore. So it shouldn't be as bad, because a lot of the time for the Desire lore guides went into creating and animating the graphics that were explaining mechanics that I did not have footage of, so there should be less of that this time. How is LASIK cosmetic? Like, I believe you in terms of insurance, but how is something that helps you see? Or do they think it's cosmetic because they think you just don't want to wear glasses because you think you look funny? That's dumb. Can you imagine, like... Oh, never mind. I could rant about that for a bit. Missed you too, Hazel. Someone who works with insurance, they typically don't cover LASIK. That's a bummer. Are the abilities on the GCD or off? I think they're off. Don't quote me on that. But from what I used one for a whole dungeon, and I don't believe it was on the GCD. BF had to get LASIK to become a police officer. How long does it take you to edit your videos? Varies wildly, depending on what kind of video it is. How obsessive I'm feeling on that given day, how extra I feel like I want to be, and how late it is when I start. So the fastest ones, like a vlog, I can get together, because with a vlog, usually I just, like, cut it up. So, you know, to get all the garbage out of it. And then if I'm talking about something that I can, if there's, like, a screenshot that I can overlay, like, for a model or something, then maybe I'll do that, like, maybe. And then, like, the questions or whatever. So that is, like, front to end for a 15-minute vlog, 45 minutes of editing, and then, like, 15 minutes of render time, so I can get it together in, like, an hour. If it's, like, a long vlog, like 20 minutes plus, that'll take closer to 2 hours. And then if it's something that I'm, like, filming footage for, like, if I've gone and recorded footage of a mount or footage of a pet and then put that in, that's extra time. But for the most part, those are real quick. For a raid guide, those are usually averaging, they're like 3-minute videos, but because of all the editing, I think I pulled that goes into like highlighting and titles and like overlaying the tooltips and like zooming in and coloring this and circling that and like drawing on that. Those take on average about 6 hours of editing, which again, not that bad, like easily doable within like one workday for focusing. But if I get stuck on drawing a bunch of stuff, that's another couple of hours. If I'm like animating stuff, that's a couple of hours. And honestly, at least 2 hours per raid guide just dealing with my software crashing or not wanting to export or, oh no, it's lagging, or, you know, oops, this file's gone. Darn, gotta go recreate that. Like, just once the project gets really complicated, it tends to get less stable. So, and the more stressed I am, the more likely the whole thing is to crash, is the rule of it. So those take a bit of extra time. Like, a vlog will almost never crash because it's just one layer of footage. But whenever you see me and I've done like footage and then like 1, 2, 3, 4 squares over it that have their own videos playing in them, that's like really taxing for the software, especially when they're all in 4K. So that's when Premiere starts to hate me. And then for like the pet vendors thing, that took me all week. Because it's something with stalagmites from the bottom. Something that needed me to do a lot of research or like quest progress. Like for the pet vendor video, I needed to do like half of the Nazmir campaign to get to the point where I could unlock the Cragwa pet, so I could find out where the quest was, what it looks like, what you need to do in order to get to it. So I did like 2 days worth of just questing for that video just to figure out where everything was. And then all sorts of editing, and then that one was like horrendously unstable, which is, it was like 7, 8, 9 versions of the edit file by the time I got to the end of it. It was awful. So that one was like a whole week. Let's see. Raid guides must be tough. Procrastinating king. I hate it about myself. I hate it so much. I have issues. I'm sure many people do. And I'm sure they're exacerbated by the fact that I do everything alone in this room with, like, when you're in an environment where you are surrounded by other people that are being productive, that rubs off on you. And I'm sure if you're surrounded by people that are, like, gossiping and slacking off, that would also rub off on you, which is hard. Makes it harder to work. But when you're in an environment where nothing is happening and all you see is a cat taking a nap, you are not influenced to do anything other than take a nap. And obviously you find ways to overcome that and work through it. And I think a big part of my struggle is that I have not successfully established a routine where I'm doing X thing during X hour. I'm still too flexible. And I think that hurts me a lot. So I'm really trying to work on that. But I have issues. It's because you're making a change to your body. Cosmetic procedures are usually not at all cosmetic. I guess that does make sense. Elective, yeah. Good thing to get if you don't want to deal with glasses. Let's see. I want to catch some of this because I know I ranted for a while and I want to make sure that I'm not missing parts of this conversation. Excited for them? I definitely prefer Holy to Dis, but mostly because I haven't tried Dis. Also, I'm healing, so I should probably dispel that, huh? There we go. Raid guides. You guys are the only guides I watch. Do you know how to get to the Dark Portal on Horde? There is an NPC. It's called the Thrallmar Mage. He should port you there, although he was not working for me, to be honest, so hard to say. Oh, hi, cat. I edited together my 20-minute long Starfing video in 4 hours, but spent 3 weeks writing the script. Yeah, you get it. It totally varies based on what kind of content it is. Some of, like, the raid guides are almost all editing. Like, I guess that's not true. I do have to, like, write the script and do the voiceover and stuff, but most of a raid guide is editing, whereas most of some videos is, like, the research and the planning. Like, a pet guide video, I can edit that together in, like, 2 hours, but actually developing a strategy that I'm happy with, and then recording all of the footage the way I want, that takes a lot longer. And then obviously writing the script and doing the voiceover. I'm getting better at it, but I have a bad habit of repeating lines when I'm doing a voiceover, even if they don't really need to be redone, and making it take ages. Like, lately, the model I've switched to is I'll write an entire script, and I'll just sit down and I'll record the entire script, as opposed to doing it in little chunks. And I think that helps me, like, power through, because it's more like saying it completely. But I've had videos that are, like, last vlog, I think, was like a, what was it, like a 10-minute? No, it wasn't the vlog. What was it? It was the Titan Essences thing. So that one, when you watch it, it might feel a little bit stilted, like awkwardly cut together. And that's because I was repeating lines so much that I had forgotten how I was supposed to intone them by the time I actually got to the take that I felt okay with keeping. I would say a line 10, 12, 15 times before I was happy with it. And that, you know, ironically, it takes way longer to make it worse. So that video, I think, is 7 minutes long. And it took me, I had 2 different video files worth of footage for it. And I think they combined to be like 45 minutes of me sitting and talking to get those 7 minutes of Titan Essence explaining, right? And it's just, oh man. I need to chill. Fan of older music. I'm 16, but I love 60s bands. Older music. Not that far back. I like some 80s pop music, like 80s, 90s pop music. I find is really good for a road trip. Especially if I feel like I cannot play any more K-pop in the car without getting divorced. I'll throw on some like 80s, 90s pop music. Hang on, I am behind. Don't think the portal works though. The Alliance one works great. I don't know what it's... I've never been able to get the Horde one to work. I've never let someone's productivity rub off on me. I am super, super easily influenced by other people. And we talked about this a little bit last stream, but to the point that I can spend time consuming media featuring people or characters that have admirable qualities and have that rub off on me. So it's extra important to me, excuse me, let me try that again. It is extra important to me to be mindful of the type of media I consume and like the role models there, because I'm going to want to be like that. I am so, so easily influenced. I don't know what that character trait is called, but I just like watch something and I get kind of into it and I'm like, man, they're cool. I should do that thing. I hate when people don't give up their seat in the train for sweet old grannies that don't want to ask anymore. Oh, yeah, that's rude. I mean, to be fair, devil's advocate, because I always have to do that. Like, it could be that that person has some kind of disability that makes it hard for them to stand. That's not like immediately apparent on looking. But yeah, whenever possible, make room for the for people that need it. When I do voiceover, I get obsessed that they sound breathy and record so many takes. It's a double-edged sword because you want it to be perfect, but like I said, if you do it too many times, it doesn't sound good anymore. Like you start to sound over-rehearsed, and sometimes the cuts don't sound good anymore. And I usually just like accept that that's my life, but it's a skill I'm still working on. I learned that you have voiceover for DPM, and I had to get it. I do. I am quite embarrassed about that, and I have been ever since I made it. But people like it, so hopefully it's fine. Okay. Smoldering Ember. Good stuff. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the help with the run. You guys have all been very good today. Yeah, no, I never did a King's Rest guide. I never did a Siege of Borealis guide because I didn't unlock them early enough. Usually with dungeon guides in the past, the way I've done it is I get as many done as I can early to when they're out, and then I just give up. Like if I'm gonna make a guide that's gonna be like super, super light, I'm like, oh, everybody already knows this already, there's no point. So I give up, which just kind of incentivizes me to do a better job of getting them done early the next time. But there's a case to be made for going back and covering stuff. I've started my breeding season for my ball pythons. Fingers crossed RNG gives me some good genetic combos. Who else was in the Blizz trip besides T&E? Ted was there, Sloop Bag. Got to meet him very briefly at the end of it. I was like too awkward. I kind of wanted to introduce myself, but then I was like, nobody cares. So I didn't for like the entire weekend, and I didn't do it until like I was about to leave at the end of the last dinner. And I think I only managed to do it because I'd had like 2 drinks. But I did say hi at the end. I am not the new voice of Siri. Although, fun fact, when my husband and I are driving in the car somewhere, usually he's driving because I don't drive, and I have the Google Maps open, and I will tell him the directions, but I like to do it in a, like, direction voice, if that makes sense. Like, I try to sound like a pleasant and, like a pleasant and overly clean and crisp voice from a navigational system. So I'll just go like, you know, in 200 miles, turn left onto 7th Avenue. And I love doing that. It's probably not funny anymore. Thanks for inviting me. No problem. Did you say hi or hi, I'm Hazel? I kept introducing I kept saying hi, I'm Hazel to people, but I would like lose confidence halfway through my sentence, so I'd go, hi, I'm Hazel. I have a lot of regrets in life. Oh, how do you live stream? How do you record yourself on your screen at the same time? OBS, Open Broadcaster Studio. Studio? Source? System? OBS. Lets you set up all kinds of different scenes. So I've got, you can overlay different images, video sources, game sources, in any combination you like. And that will, and then you can flip between them. You know how an OSB, you can get text to voice to talk? Do you know a way to get it to sound like Hazel? That I don't know. That would probably be a lot of voicing. There's a lot of voice files in the DBM voice pack. Like, that took longer than I thought it would to record it. Although early on, I was doing, like, everyone, and I realized as I was, like, a third of the way through the list that a lot of these are voice files for, like, Cataclysm-specific raid abilities that will probably not be put into play, so I should probably focus on, like, the generic ones. Do you like Lightforged Draenei? I do. I have one, actually. I have a Lightforged Draenei Paladin that I tank on. And she's kind of waiting, like she's in the leveling queue. I'm leveling my Culture and Human first. I did get the Flying Mount for the 7th Legion medals. I actually did that fairly early. I ground very hard. I went real hard on the service medal grind and then got it and then burned out too much. I have a struggle getting the OBS saves VLC to work with editing software. Check your codec. Also, there's no portal sign here anymore. Check your codec. Check your codec. Check your, what's the other word? File type. So if you go into OBS settings and then video, or sorry, output recording, you'll be able to choose your recording format and your recording encoder. So the one I found works best with the widest range of editing software for me. MP4 format, and then for my encoder, I always use an H.264 encoder. It's I have the NVIDIA NVENC one. It's like it's not very it's not like the best encoder ever, but it is very widely compatible with stuff. I would eventually like to move everything over to H.265, but I found it doesn't always work with everything yet. Okay. Oh, I got boots. What was I gonna do? I was gonna turn this in. That's why I was trying to take a portal. Of course you can tag me in a photo of your plant hall. I would love to see photos of your plants. Easiest dungeon for high mythic plus keys? Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask. I only go to like 1 mythic plus a week, and it's whatever one somebody happens to have a key for. I think the easier ones are like Freehold. Everybody seems to like Freehold. Although beats me why the last boss is always tough, because like nobody ever wants to pull that last pack, so you're like crammed into a corner trying to like dodge stuff. Ugh. But yeah, Freehold, and what else? What are my other options here? Dungeons. People like Freehold, people like Waycrest, actually. Like, it's longer, but I find people tend to run, like, Freehold, Waycrest, and Taldazar are the 3 that I would say are easier, but I am not an educated opinion. I have not watched the MDI. I kind of tried. I'm sure it's good, if you're into that kind of thing. I think I've decided that I'm not into that kind of thing. I love watching WoW Arena esports when I get time, and I really love watching Overwatch League. But for some reason, the PvE stuff just doesn't float my boat. Empty portal room, bingo. What am I doing? I'm trying real hard to get to the point where I'm turning in the Smoldering Ember, and I'm going very slowly. Leveling my Dark Iron Dwarf Priest. What heals is good, Dis or Holy? I think Dis is just better for leveling and for endgame. Not 100% sure, but whatever is fun for you. I don't often chat here, but I do like listening. Check to see if an account was created using your email address at Epic Games by using the password reset feature. That's a good tip. Hello, Hazel and chat. What's up, Gia? Depends on the affixes. Good point. This is true. The Titans are insane in all the season, right? Like, I'm from that neck of the woods. Those are my boys now. Also, Bumper is so funny. I love it when he talks trash and everybody takes it seriously and he's just laughing his head off because he's just like a big goofy dude. It's great. Bumper is my favorite. Last night was Titans versus Soul, who are like my season 1 team. And I still have a lot of affection for Titans, but it's like barely the same team anymore. They didn't play Fleta. And Fleta's the boy. You know, Fleta's the favorite. I named my fish after Fleta. This is Fleta the betta over here. And I don't even know why they're not playing Fleta. Let him play. So yeah, I kind of cheer for Titans a little bit. I don't have any Titans merch though. Holy for heroic and normal, this for mythic. Yeah, see, flood of the beta emote. That one's probably gonna make me sad after he reaches the end of his life, but I'll be able to. I'm just glad that I got to spend this much time with him. That spot that he's sitting in, by the way, is his food spot. That's how he begs for food. He goes right to the feeding spot and then stares at me. And that corner, it's like the corner closest to me. So he's staring at me when he's sitting right there, being like, feed me. And I fed him right before the stream. He's not hungry. He's fine. I miss Bane. Yeah, I am actually dying to see what happens in the 8.2 war campaign stuff. Because if they do Bane dirty, and I don't know, I need to find out. He's not in a good spot. Anything but Underrot. I'm sad that Underrot's not a more popular dungeon because I want more chances at the mount, but people don't do it. 8.2 class changes? Class changes were not widely touched on. They did say that there will be like a tuning pass probably, but like major class changes are going to be mostly saved for the next expansion. I love Bane. He's one, like Bane and Anduin and like their adorable friendship are one of my favorite things about current WoW characters. So anything that messes with that. He might be the only person that has a fish that will tap the glass himself to be fed. There are fish that have learned how to, like, you know, there's like archer fish that will like shoot water above the water to like shoot down a bug or a bird or something. I don't know. I was watching, so Corey from Aquarium Co-op was doing a video talking about his like, he has like this big, I don't know, like an 800-gallon huge fish tank. And he said that he used to use an auto feeder on it, but he had to stop because the fish learned how to spit water up into the auto feeder to trigger the mechanism to get more out of it. That was just wild to me. Crush on Anduin. Man, Anduin's the boy. He's a little too blonde for me, but he's one of my favorite characters. He's kind of cute. We watched him grow up too, which makes it weird, right? Like we've been staring at like a tiny 4-polygon child model of Anduin for so long that it feels weird for him to be like all grown up and cute. Excited for the Ashara things coming? Yeah. All right, it's 5 o'clock. I gotta go. I want to check on my doggy and then drink some more tea and then record that vlog. It'll probably be out late because it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna take me a bit to edit, but I will have my full thoughts on the additional commentary around the whole Water Strider thing. I've been reading some discussion about it, and I have more I want to add. And then I'm gonna try and cover. I think I'm gonna try and cover like highlights of the news, because if I just try and go through all of it, it's gonna be like a 45-minute video of me just saying things that you already know from the announcement live stream. So I think I'm just gonna cover the highlights. Caroline Rose, thanks for the super chat. Congratulations on your cookies. Have one for me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.